It's almost Valentine's Day and we are making a 4-course date night dinner at home. These are delicious recipes that are elegant but so easy to make, from appetizer to salad. We're doing a main course and a dessert and we're gonna have fun doing it. We're gonna skip the crowds this Valentine's Day and save money, so let's get to it. We're kicking things off with an appetizer and we are making my garlic baked brie. This one is so fancy looking, but it's so easy and ready in less than 15 minutes. I also found this cute little heart-shaped brie from President Cheese, which is just way too much fun. We're gonna be slicing off just the very top layer of the rind. We're also gonna be slicing 3 garlic cloves, and I like to slice these just in a really paper thin layer. You can also chop them if you want, but I think it looks a little bit prettier when it's just like, you can see the whole garlic clove. It looks really good. And we're also using some fresh herbs. We've got some rosemary, and then I'm actually using dried thyme because I forgot my fresh thyme, but you can use that too. Just give that a nice chop. When you're shaving off the top of the brie, just be careful when you're doing it because it's really easy to take a lot more off than you want to. And you can see like mine got a little bit crazy right here, but it's just gonna melt and nobody's gonna know, so it's totally fine. Once you get the top of the brie shaved off, we're gonna pop it onto a cookie sheet with some tin foil around it, just so if any leaks over, we can definitely catch that. We wanna preheat our oven to 350 degrees. We're only gonna bake this for about 8 to 10 minutes, and it's really important to keep an eye on it because you don't want all the brie to like pour out. We just want it nice and softened and warm, but still in our heart shape. As far as serving goes with this, I really like to just grab like some little crackers, especially when I'm cooking 4 courses, because I don't wanna have to like chop up a bunch of extra stuff. It's just easier. So serve it with some crackers. This is like brischettini, it's called. These are like $4 and they're really good. They're like nice and crunchy. In a skillet over medium-low heat, we're gonna add our butter and olive oil, then add in your garlic and herbs. You're just gonna cook this until they're nice and softened and golden brown, and then immediately transfer to a bowl. It's definitely easier to do the circle shape. This one falls apart a little bit, but it's still cute. I'm also gonna save some sanity and kind of just wrap the foil around it because it's really hard to get off the foil once it's baked and all that cheese will fall out. What we can do is we can kind of like layer the crackers around it so it looks pretty still. All right, toss that over there. We're gonna let this cool for just a second, then we're gonna add that garlic butter on top and just drizzle it with some honey. I really like the honey on here, it's so good. This garlic butter brie is so good. Next up, we have a classic Caesar salad. So crisp, so good, and I like to serve this one cold. We're also gonna whip up a little bit of bacon beforehand too, so we can sprinkle that on top. Okay, so for our bacon, I suggest cooking about 3 to 4 slices. I wanna use half of it crumbled up on my salad, and then we're gonna be making baked potatoes for dinner with our pork chops. So I wanna have a little bit for the baked potatoes too. So I would say like 3 to 4 slices. If you're gonna snack on it, make like 5 to 6. And we're gonna get our baked potatoes ready because those are gonna cook for about an hour in the oven at 400 degrees. So we wanna make sure we have those going because our pork chops won't cook that long at all. You guys, I just wanted to show you, like, okay, here's a regular potato. This was also in my potato bag. Like, it's like 2 of them fused together. What has happened? Weird, I'm not making this right now. All right, so we are just gonna hit these with some salt. We've got some olive oil, and then we're gonna wrap them in tin foil. Okay, so first up for our Caesar salad, we're gonna be making our dressing. This is a homemade dressing that I love because it doesn't have raw eggs in it and it doesn't have like anchovies in it, although it kind of does because we're using Worcestershire sauce, if that's how you say it. I don't know how you're supposed to say this word, but it has anchovy in it, and that brings in like that classic Caesar flavor that we want, but we don't need like, you know, the real thing. So we're gonna be starting off by just chopping up a few garlic cloves, and then we're also gonna be using some Parmesan cheese. We wanna shred this nice and fine. And if you don't wanna make your own homemade salad dressing, that's fine. I know it's like an extra step. You could also do this the day before if you don't wanna like have to worry about prepping it, you know, all at one time. Into our food processor, we're gonna add in our mayonnaise. I'm using Hellmann's here, but you can definitely use the Duke's too. Then we have a full tablespoon of that Worcestershire sauce. That's gonna be the anchovy flavor that we want. We've got some garlic. We're gonna use lemon juice. Make sure you get all the seeds out. Then you have Dijon mustard, a little bit of whole milk, and salt and pepper. Pulse this just a few times just to combine it. And then we want to add in the olive oil. You want to use a good quality olive oil here if possible. And go ahead and pour it in as the food processor is on low so it can emulsify. And next you are just going to add in your Parmesan cheese and blend this just a little bit until it's smooth. After I make the salad dressing, I like to just stick it in like a glass container. This really needs to sit in the fridge for like 30 minutes to an hour to taste the best. I love this recipe too because it has a lot of Parmesan, so I don't feel like I have to add as much Parmesan to my salad. It has a bunch of that flavor. Okay, it's time to make our salad. For my favorite lettuce, we're using romaine hearts. It's super crisp and it's the best for Caesar salads. I really like the ones in these packages because they're already pre-washed, triple washed. You can give it an extra wash if you want to. But the best thing about it is it's super crisp lettuce, and I think that's like the key to a Caesar salad. Once you get that lettuce chopped up, you can add it right into your bowl. And then I'm just gonna slice up some really thin red onion. I mean like shaved, like I don't want a big chunk, but I just want it really thin. I'm gonna add a little bit of that into my salad. And then I'm also gonna take those bacon strips that I made and just give them a nice little chop, crumble them up. And then your choice, you can either do like croutons. I am using Parmesan crisps. These are so good. I like to use them instead of croutons. It just gives it like that perfect little nutty taste. Plus it adds a little bit of crunch. These are so good. These are actually really good just to snack on too. But what I do is I just like break them up a little bit in my salad, or you can leave them whole, whatever you want to do. And then as far as my salad goes, I like to stick this in the fridge for like a half hour too. I want my greens to be really, really cold. And then I just add the salad dressing right before we're gonna eat it. You don't wanna do it before, it's gonna get soggy. Okay, this looks so good. My husband loves Caesar salad, so I love making it for him, especially on Valentine's Day. Next up, we have our main course. We are cooking some pork chops in the Dutch oven. These are so good. We're doing like a mushroom and onion gravy with them. So it is just absolutely fabulous. By this time, you should have already put your baked potatoes in the oven because it's not gonna take a full hour for these to cook. To get started for this recipe, we wanna chop up some onion. We're using yellow onion for this recipe for the sweetness. We're also gonna be using the caps of 2 baby bella mushrooms. Mine were on the larger side, so if you have smaller ones, you can always add a couple more in. And just give these a good dice too. And then we have 2 garlic cloves. You wanna mince those. And we're using just a little bit of rosemary for that gravy at the end. For our pork chops, we're using a boneless pork chop, and I'm just using 2 pounds, which is about a half a pound per pork chop. I'm gonna do 4 of them. The biggest thing with this recipe is you want them to be pretty similar in size so they cook evenly. If they're in a package like this, just go ahead and remove them and pat them dry with some paper towels. Then we're gonna season with some salt and pepper, and we're gonna dredge them in some flour. Whenever I wanna dredge meat in flour, I like to use either a pie plate or an 8x8 pan. And I'm just gonna pour this in. We've already salt and peppered our meat really well, so I'm not even gonna season this, but you definitely can if you want to. We're also doing a gravy on top, so we're gonna have a ton of flavor in this recipe. What I'm gonna do is just take my pork chop and just dunk both sides, give it a nice little roll around in this flour mixture. This just gives it a really nice coating, and you don't really need to do like egg or any of that with this. With chicken, I like to do like the egg and panko mixture, but this is just perfect with just flour on it. And then you're just gonna transfer it to a plate. Once the pork chops are dredged in flour, we're gonna add them to our Dutch oven over medium heat. We're gonna add in some butter and olive oil. This helps increase the burning point when you add a little bit of olive oil in with the butter. These are gonna cook for about 6 to 8 minutes on each side. I have a really thick pork chops here. If you have thinner ones, it'll definitely be less. But what we're looking for is an internal temperature of 145 degrees before we go ahead and transfer them to a plate. Next, we're gonna reduce the heat down to medium-low. And we're gonna add in another tablespoon of butter with our mushrooms and our onions and give this a really good stir. Make sure to scrape up those brown bits because there's gonna be a lot of flavor in there. And then we're gonna add in our rosemary and we have our garlic. Give this a good stir. We're gonna add in a little bit of flour, about 2 teaspoons, and then our beef broth and our heavy cream. And just let this thicken, and then we're gonna nestle those pork chops back into our dish. I like to really smother them in the mushroom and onion gravy, and then I pair them with our loaded baked potato. I like to add sour cream, cheese, chives, and then our bacon also, and maybe a little bit of butter too. But load these up and our main course is ready to serve. Next up, we have a super simple dessert recipe because we're all tired now from cooking all this food. This is a 2-ingredient chocolate covered strawberries. We are using the milk chocolate Ghirardelli chocolate wafers. This is really easy to work with and I highly suggest getting it. And the Ghirardelli is super good quality chocolate. So we're just gonna melt this down. You wanna make sure your strawberries are washed and fully dried. Water and chocolate do not mix. And then we're just gonna dunk these in and let them dry on some parchment paper. These are so yummy. They're seriously the perfect dessert. That's it, we're all done with our Valentine's date night dinner. This is 4 courses and they're all really easy recipes. Remember too, you can always prep your salad dressing and you can prep the chocolate covered strawberries ahead of time, a day ahead, so you save a little bit of time on Valentine's Day. You can actually enjoy it with your loved one. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like if you liked it. Make sure to subscribe for new recipes every single week. I'll see you next week. Bye. Happy Valentine's Day.